Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And this is crazy, alright? Yesterday, I showed you guys a clip where Jim Cramer was basically talking about how crypto has no real value and how it's garbage. And I told you guys, whenever he says something like that, expect the moon, because we always do exactly the opposite of what he says. But guys, it's gonna get extremely funny, because I think he heard my words, alright? He's changed his mind all of a sudden in the last couple of hours, and he has gone from absolutely bashing it to becoming bullish. So, right now we're in a predicament. Are we gonna go... Are things gonna crash? Are things gonna bump? He has us in like the most awkward spot. Because right now, I'll be tempted to say, all right, prepare for a big drop. But yesterday he was shouting out, no, things are gonna drop. Since he said both sides, he is bound to be right. Except for going sideways. So I guess that's where crypto's going right now. I've been having a good laugh at that. It's been pretty funny. But before we move on, make sure you press that like button on the video. We've been doing really good on the likes in the last couple of days. I really appreciate that. Again, my goal every video is to get at least 500 likes, otherwise I cannot go home, but I'm pretty satisfied with all this. This is also crazy support. You guys are amazing. It's a like ratio of 1 to 5. Math was a little bit off right there, 1 to 6. All right, first of all, XRP. Nick Bogalis just shared, efficiency was top of mind when drafting the XLS 20 proposal to bring native NFT support to the XP ledger. Today, we are publishing our testing methodology and our results so that anyone can evaluate the performance and scaling characteristics of the code. And you can see over on the bottom here, ensuring stable, performant NFTs on the XRP ledger. After checking it out and accepting that I don't know enough about code, I did come to the conclusion that I like their openness about this, the transparency about it. And also all the theory about NFTs. Well, a lot of people are forgetting how big NFTs on the XRP ledger can get because of how cheap it is. It's not going to change too much about the lawsuit, but this could be a big game changer for an XRP. Again, it's ridiculously cheap in comparison to Ethereum, for example. Yeah. They're just talking about some of the tests which they've done and how things have turned out, but things are great as far as I understand. Talking about great things, Status just had a quote from David Schwartz. Take a look at this. Well, that would be every XP holder's dream too. What are we talking about? David Schwartz, the CTO of Ripple and a genius overall, has said on Twitter. I'm guessing he said this on Twitter. My dream scenario is Swift makes a deal with Ripple where all their banks get to use RippleNet for free, maybe even paying Swift, fits our XP strategy perfectly. And for all of you thinking this is bogus or crazy or actually really far-fetched or a crazy theory, we actually yesterday covered the whole ISO 20022 stuff regarding how Ripple is in the committee and how they're closer connected than you actually might think. Specifically, if you start to realize how quickly Swift is going to start moving on the ISO standard and how XRP/Ripple is properly compliant with that. On a different note, I'm also pretty bullish about the fact that Jet McCaleb is almost done selling his coins. Jet's Taco Stand wallet is almost done dumping, about damn time. For some reason, during this recording, I decided to go do something else and actually just left in the middle of this video for like 15 minutes because I forgot I was recording a video. Not sure how that happened. Kind of forgot where I left off, but the whole Jim McCallum situation, again, pretty juicy, right? The moment he's done selling, I'm pretty happy about the situation. And it's kind of strange to me that he's not getting charged for anything. I've covered this a dozen times before. I don't understand why not. But I guess let's just keep it peaceful and say, you know what? Maybe he has an insider or something. A little bit of negative news for right now. Chinese court bans businesses from paying salaries in USDT. Just came out. Apparently here, court's inquiry found that Hu had opted to pay the complainant in USDT instead of local currency. Despite Hu requesting that his wages be paid in local cash, Hu insisted on using stablecoin. The USDT involved in the case should not and cannot be circulated in the market as a virtual currency. Mr. Shen's request to pay wages and bonuses in the form of RMB complies with the law, and the court supports it, the court ruled. So as of this point, right, they've basically gone for this narrative of, hey, USDT cannot be used for proper legal purposes, which I didn't really know was a thing anyway. But I guess now the court has like double pushed it down, like with a big stamp on it once more. Again, this was after the court already banned digital assets as a whole a little while ago, but the tether was a little vague area. Right now it's been stamped like, nope, officially done and over with. It's not legal status, not good. Also, a little update on the Ripple SEC lawsuit. Remember when Ripple was asking for some backup, basically? They got themselves some lawyers in. Nope, denied. Motions for admission denied for failure to comply with the local rules, which again are just the rules that the judge has specifically. Affidavits were not notarized, which is basically a trivial matter. I guess, they'll file once more than the proper way and it will get, properly done. Not a really big deal whatsoever. Here's also an interesting article. Wolf of Wall Street predicts Bitcoin profits in 3 to 5 years. One thing I gotta make really clear to all of y'all is that I'm not really praying here, or pleading, I should say, for when the crypto bottom is going to be in. As I said before, you gotta make use of every opportunity that's being thrown at you. And right now, the best opportunity, I think, is just to be able to buy at these low prices. Relatively, I still think the crypto market is ridiculously low. And I think it's not going to take more than 16 months to actually go crazy in crypto again. It could, again, literally take another year before we actually start to go on a crazy rapid pump. Now, in the midst, we might actually see a little bit of a relief rally towards, for example, 30,000, maybe even 40,000, but then swiftly falling back down. And what I consider to be the actual bull market is the moment that we are consistently making higher lows and higher highs. And actually, in my own opinion, you have to break the all-time high as well. Because before that, you can keep thinking like, oh, maybe it's just a fake up, maybe it's just this, maybe just that. The moment you break all-time high, though, it was definitely a bull market for that period. Or you can actually see it from a different perspective too. Once the majority of people are at a profit again, that's when I consider things to be on a really good rise. As long as there have been a couple of higher highs, higher lows in the midst, that is not just one big push. For example, within 1 week or 1 day or 3 days. If it happens consistently over a couple of weeks, yeah, we can start to consider that a bull market. But that's again the thing. You can only identify that afterwards because you don't know it's a fake out or a bull trap until it's happened. But all he's saying is that he would be surprised if over the next 3 to 5 years or so, if you invest in crypto right now, that you'd not be in profit. That would be really strange to him, he says. And I can really vouch for that. I can agree with that as well. Even though it's not financial advice, obviously, I personally think so too. If you buy crypto right now, it's very, very hard to be at a loss in the next couple of years. 2 other things that I just came across here over on the right section, which I think is interesting. European Union crypto regulation sets €1,000 privacy threshold. We've all talked about the markets in crypto assets MiCA bill, but apparently transfers between crypto exchanges and unhosted wallets owned by individuals will be required to be reported if the amount exceeds €1,000. This is a contentious issue for crypto enthusiasts as they frequently trade digital assets in order to maintain their privacy. This is interesting though. So that basically means, from a certain perspective, I don't mind because, if it's a exchange to exchange, I personally find they can report whatever, right? Sure, you go ahead, go do whatever you want. From another perspective, I'm thinking, well, then a lot of these easy transfers can become a very big issue. Even though, let's say it like this. If I'm transferring money from my bank to my friend's bank, for example, I know they'll report it, right? But the banks are such a legacy system where there's a lot of understanding that you most likely just gave him some money for some specific reason. That's not a taxable type of thing. With transferring crypto between accounts, I think it's so new that there's going to be a lot of confusion about what you're doing. And there's a lot more questions of, are you money laundering or are you doing something shady? Did you just sell something that you didn't want to pay tax on? Do you have more somewhere in the midst? Are you a bit... All these extra questions that come on by. And I think 1,000 is a pretty low threshold for that. I think it should be more so towards the 10,000 or 20,000 maybe. Because I believe in the banking realm, it's also 10,000, right? Then again, I always find that a little difficult. Does that mean if I keep sending some, €5,000 around once a month, for example, to people that is in no way, shape, or form reported? Okay, let's say that it does get reported. Then what? But again, that's just my ignorance on the matter. I just don't know. And they're saying that it's for all these reasons, which you can see right here. For example, combat money laundering and to prevent sanction evasion. Yeah, it's a good explanation they give. On a more positive note, I also saw this just now. Binance CEO meets with the Ivory Coast or at least the president of it, for crypto adoption in the country. He actually said on Twitter, Africa is primed for crypto adoption, 10 to 20% banked, need financial access and inclusion. Blockchain provides that with a smartphone. And that's indeed going to be huge. I've already said it before. I'm going to say it again. Africa/crypto combination. It's going to be huge, I think. And then a little interesting one that's actually kind of funny, I guess, depending on how you see it. Crypto exchange Bitstamp to charge €10 fee for inactive users. So if you have less than €200 in your account, right, on this specific exchange, I think it's kind of funny. They'll charge you unless you deposit or trade €25 starting August 1st. If you have less than €200, yeah, that's pretty funny, I think. Then again, it says for an entire year. So, it's kind of okay at that point, but I still think this is like the lowest of lows, right? If you have to charge people for not using their money that they just keep on your platform. Maybe this is a sign, take your money off if it's not, a significant amount. Or from another perspective, just take your money off anyway because they want to make money on you for keeping your money on there, which they're making money on, I think is crazy. And last but not least, one little piece of news. We talked earlier about the whole Ethereum merge situation with the Sepolia testnet. Right now, it's officially gone through. Ethereum developers activate the merge on Sepolia testnet, so that's just a nice little update. It happened today at around 2 p.m. UTC, at least as far as I know. I'm not really too caring of it, to be honest with you. Doesn't really change too much for me, nor is it going to pump or dump the price. Just wanted to kind of share this news around because I can, I guess. And that was it for right now. I have a couple of crazy stories coming up later today, though, guys. I have already got the bangers sitting out here, but sometimes I don't want to mix the videos up too much because then I'm going from left to right, and it's going to be very hard to title for myself. So I try to sometimes split them up into different videos to stay a little bit more on topic. But this video is kind of like all the crypto news at once. You'll see what the other ones are going to be. Stick around though, guys. Make sure you press that like button and have the notification bell on. That was it. Adios.